Hi and welcome to the instructional video of the Lyseo 728. The workings for the cab and the various bits are available on the separate video, which will also be attached to this link or can be found on YouTube. First of all, starting off, we've got your service locker. Your service locker inside here is standard on most Burstners and has your freshwater tank, your water boiler, drain valves, your drain valve for your fresh water, and filler point from there, and mains plug-in point in there. You have this component which removes and attaches directly below onto here, and that opens your waste water tank. Twist that like so, and wastewater will drain out of there. To close it, put it back on, twist it, and that closes the wastewater valve. It will run for a short time, just as there's quite a bit of travel from the waste pipe to that valve. This fitting, you remove the blue cap, slots onto there, and stops any water from spilling over. Within here you've got your big red cap. When there's no water inside the tank, that enables you to go inside and clean it, check for any debris. This valve you can turn, and as you drain, the water then drains out. If you turn it part way, it'll go to 20 litres. If you turn it all of the way, it'll drain down all of the water. Don't over loosen it. It is on a threaded bar in there, which then can potentially pop off. When you plug it into mains, it plugs into there. You lift that up, your mains lead will run through there, and you'll notice on the door there's a small cutout there for your mains lead to go through. You've got your frost protection valve, which is here. If you twist that, that drains the water out of your water boiler. Two operations to close that: twist, and then that blue cap that's there, push that blue button, and then that stops the water from draining out of your boiler. That's your frost protection valve, which should automatically open if the temperature is below 6 degrees, and will only drain the contents of the boiler, not the contents of your freshwater tank. This yellow valve, you put in the up position, that'll drain anything that's gone into hot water pipes. Standard positions for draining down for winter or when not in use. Just twist that and have that yellow valve in the up position. And to close them for normal use, sideways, twist and close, and that goes from there, and that will enable then the water tank to fill the boiler when you turn the pump on. Common problem is people fill this, close this area off, there's no water draining out, go inside the van, turn the pump on, the pump then is trying to put water from the cold water tank into the hot water tank. You're inside the van, you're not sure what's happening, and the water basically is draining straight out, and that's because you've not closed that valve or not closed that valve. So in normal use, ensure that they're closed. In the winter, if that keeps popping open, turn your blown air heating on for a few minutes. These pipes are warm and will warm this area, and then you can then come to it and close that area. Moving backwards, we've got your exhaust for your water heater. It's a combi heater which heats a combination of the air and the hot water. It's not a combi heater in respect of it giving you instant hot water. Next to us, we've got your gas bottle cupboard. You've got your gas regulator, which is mounted there, so there's no regulator that needs to go onto the direct bottle. There is a pigtail which is inside the vehicle with your instructions, which attaches onto a 13 kilogram or 6 kilogram bottles. You'll notice the vent holes, ensure that they're always free at any time. You then got your fridge vents, which are there, which need not to be obstructed. The only time you could potentially buy covers for those and use them over the winter time. That will prevent any drafts going inside the van and also enable the fridge to operate better at sub-zero degrees. We have your garage, which is inside here, one central handle, two locks though. Carpets, which are inside your boot rolled up. You've got your ladder for your drop down bed, and then you've got storage points there. These anchor points are adjusted just by loosening off, sliding them along and locking in from there. And then we have your awning winder, which is up in the top. Details of the awning and how to use the awning are available on a separate feed on this link to our website. This particular model is fitted with an additional bike rack. The bike rack just slops down, and then you've got the different bars which attach onto your frame, and then you've got these components which then go around the wheels and around the spokes of the vehicle. Rear view camera mounted up at the top. On the side of the other side of the vehicle, we've got your external mains point. This is for mains power coming out, sorry, and 12 volt power coming out also. And you've got your barbecue point, which is directly above here. Inside here is your toilet cassette. Always ensure that when it's locked into those components and slides out like so. When you're draining it down, you remove this, remove the cassette completely, twist that then reveals the thing where you then drain down at an L-SAM point. That then is also a measuring jug for if you're using different chemicals. Pour the bit different chemical into there, then into the jug, and put a fine layer of water at the bottom. When you push it back, like I say, just ensure that that is locked in. That'll enable the blade inside the toilet to run freely. Okay, so inside the vehicle, quick scan round of the area. We have your control panel, your main control panel on and off from there. You have your test switches on the left hand side for your electrics, test switches on your right hand side for your water and waste. So when you first get in the vehicle, you turn on. You then have all your light switches which are located here, or various switches which will turn your various lights on and off. Test switches, like I say, above you've got a picture of a battery inside a motorhome. That indicates the level of the leisure battery. Another battery inside the front of a motorhome shows the level of the vehicle battery. Then at the top, on this right hand side, we've got this button. You push that, it shows the level of the freshwater system. Push the bottom one, shows the level of the wastewater system. When either are empty, you'll get no LED lights at all. And lastly, on this button, this is for your water pump, and that powers your water pump and sends power. Each of your taps have got micro switches built in. Those, when it's turned on, will operate the micro switch and will send power to the pump. If that is not turned on, you won't get any power to the pump, so therefore you won't get any water pressure. Next was then we've got our heater controls. Heater controls is, as I said, it's a combi unit. So in essence, basically, it is doing the job of heating the hot water and heating the air as a combination. It isn't a combi boiler as we expect as a household domestic one, where it's giving you instant hot water. This will not do that. It takes around about 30 minutes to get up to temperature for water. So we've got icons, which are a picture of your thermometer inside a motorhome, picture of water and a thermometer inside water. We've then got a picture of a gas bottle and two lightning spikes, and then a fan. These are your icons that you want to select to choose the temperature and so on and so forth. So if we push it, we push the wheel, which is here, and then we can select what the temperature is by turning that, and then every time we want to confirm something, push the button. So at the moment we've turned that on. If you notice above the line, it's now going to try and operate the air to heat up. It's going to try and operate it on gas, and it's going to do it on one selection of fan. We move next to it, we can then choose what we want to do with our water. So we can select off, eco, hot or boost. You can run the system by hot air without having to have any water in the system. So if you want to use it over winter and not actually power up any of the, or fill any water, then you can do so. But eco is roughly around about 40 degrees, hot is roughly 60 degrees, boost is 60 degrees still, and it will do so for 30 minutes, but it will do so at the detriment of the blown air, and it will concentrate just purely on heating the hot water for 30 minutes. It will then knock back and then go back to normal. As you notice now, when I've sent it back to hot, that has actually gone from there and started going. So the bottle is showing that it's going to work on gas. You'll find that if it doesn't light on gas after a couple of attempts, it'll then fail and come up with a fault code. The next one we can choose, that's the fault code that's come up there. The next one we can choose to use which fuel we want to use. So we can use gas. We can use a mixture of gas and 1 kilowatt of electric, signified by that electric, one electric spike. gas and 2 kilowatts of electric by 2 gas and 2 lightning spikes, or we can have 1 kilowatt of electric or 2 kilowatt. The reason we'd have 1 kilowatt on electric only is if you're on a campsite with a poor supply. Last of all, on here we've got eco or high for the selection of the speed of the fan. And your fan will blow out from each of the outlets which are located around the vehicle, which are here and towards the back of the vehicle. They all have flaps in them as well, so you can isolate those, and the more you isolate those and turn those off, the more force you'll get through to the other areas. Your fan, your heater is located directly underneath this forward facing seat. Going back to the heater, you can set a timer on here, so we can set the time, a start time and an end time. If it's all set to 0, then the timer will automatically be off. And then we can also set your time of the actual vehicle. And then finally, we have your settings where you can change the brightness, the temperature, the time, 12 to 24 hours, the language, go into the index, or if the heater ever fails, you can go into a reset, click pre-R reset, like so, and then it will basically go through this sequence and the heater will reset itself and clear any fault codes that may be stored within it. To turn the heater off, just hold completely and it will turn everything off. So just push that button, turn, and keep hold, and basically it will then go to off, and then that will power the unit down completely. You've got your TV bracket, which is here, and then your sockets, mains power, 12 volt power and aerial socket on there, and then USB sockets within here. Switch for your step, which is electric, open and close on there. It isn't automatic with the ignition. You will get a red LED which will light on your ignition to warn you that you've left your step out. This unit will hibernate after several days of inactivity, for which time then the step won't work, your courtesy lights won't work, or your radio won't work. So the trick is if you want the radio and things to work straight away, turn that off and on, and then that will send power back up and it will take it out of hibernation mode. Okay, so you've got on campsite, you've filled your water up. What you then need to do is fill your boiler up. You fill your boiler up then by basically turning the tap to the hot, turn that on like so, lift that, and your tap will then cough and gurgle and splutter. If it continues to do so for a very long time, just referring back to the point that I made earlier, make sure that them valves are closed on the water boiler. It'll take a minute or so. Once it starts to run clear, then your boiler's full. You've got 10 litres then of hot water, or potential hot water inside that tank, ready to be heated. This part is a very useful extra bit of work surface. That pivots. It doesn't lift or anything like that, it pivots, so just ensure that. We've then got your hob, which is here, 3-burner hob. Turn to the large flame to light, keep the button held in. Once it's lit, hold it for a few seconds. That releases the thermocouple, which is the flame failure device, and then turn off from there. Exactly the same for the oven and grill. As well, when you're operating the grill though, ensure you do so with this pulled out and the door open. Like I say, one way for grill, the other way for oven. If you've been operating the hob, make sure it's cool before you put the glass lid down. The fridge is 3-way. To turn on, push that button like so, and you can select mains, gas, 12 volt, or the easiest way, A for automatic, and it will automatically flip between the fuels. The one next to us is the temperature, and we can set the temperature of the fridge. Roughly about 3 or 4 is what I'll do. If it ever fails on gas, push that button, identifies it from there, press that, it'll go through a reset sequence and try to restart. Inside there we've got your freezer and your fridge. You've got your travel catch, which is there, which pops out. If you're ever going to leave the fridge for any length of time, you don't want any stale smells, that then will lock and stop the fridge from closing completely. Now on this model, the freezer's completely removable. The instructions of how to do so are there, so it give you a larger fridge if you so wish. Above the fridge, you've got your storage. On this particular model, we've got an aerial. To raise the aerial, lift up like so, and then you can adjust the gain and the boost on there by that dial. If you notice, if it's green, then you've got a good signal. If it goes red or amber, then you're not going to get a great signal. And that's just operated by turning that gain up there, and you'll notice that that LED changes colour. That is switched also with that switch on that top cupboard, and then this cupboard is vented inside here. Moving to the back of the vehicle, you've got your light switches on there. You've got your blinds and fly screens on each window. Blind from the bottom, fly screen from the top, and then your windows basically lift open. You do have travel catches on there as well. You lift them and they're on a ratchet system. These blinds are closed just by pulling down like so, and those close off from there. Power at the back with your light switches. These lights are actually on a rail, so you can twist these and move them along and have them in any position that you want. You've got this stepped area, you've got storage underneath, and this pops out, storage in there, slides back like so. Then we have your wardrobe, which is in here, which has got your additional section for your bed, if you wanted to make it into a king size double bed. Those two boards, that's a slot in between the windows, which meet the regulations, for if you are in a bed, then there isn't potential of damaging the blind, and the blind's rolled up with your duvet or perhaps while you're sleeping, but also one thing to stop you falling out of bed and falling out the window. This other device which is in here basically is to fit in the cupboard, which is made to measure above the fridge, and it's to secure your plates and pots and pans. It's a Velcro thing, and you can sort of set it to whatever size for your plates and things like that. We've then got storage inside here for your different belongings, and then you've got storage in each of the underfloor lockers, which pops up like so, and then that's your part for this rear bed, your ladder for your rear bed. Under the cooker we've got your circuit breakers. One simple way of testing whether you've got mains hookup coming in, if you don't have it indicated on your control panel, is by pushing that test button. If those don't drop down, you've not got mains power coming in. So we're not plugged into mains now. I'm pushing that button, it's not dropping down. That means that we've not got mains power coming in. So there's either a problem with the campsite or there's a problem with your mains lead. There isn't a problem then with the van. Last of all, in this part in the bedroom area, we've got this. You push that up and then that enables that sliding door to close and gives you some privacy in that rear area. And then just ensure before you travel that that is locked in. The toilet door, if you'll notice, the catch is on a magnet, so as it closes, that catch shoots across, but then stops you from snagging anything on there. We've then got in here, we have your shower compartment with your shower door. Ensure for travelling it's locked back in this position, and then when in normal use that flops back from there. We've then got your tap, hot and cold on there. Your toilet, when your toilet's full you will get a red LED to indicate that it's full, and then you have this open and close valve on there. And to flush, push like so, and the pump must be turned on from there, and then it will flush. Storage in there, and then also one thing directly underneath, mains power socket and light switches for your bathroom. That device in the corner is an air freshener. In the front we have your seats. Your 3-point seat belts are just stored behind here, and the stalks are just underneath. Just pull those through for travelling. To operate the bed, key goes into here and then basically push down. It will stop when it reaches the base. You may just need to flop that cushion down just so it can go down all the way and doesn't distort the cushion. Each of the lights all around are LED lights, so they're not going to get hot, so there's no danger of warning and overheating or burning anything. Your table is removable. Always ensure that this red tab is down. If this red tab is not down, then the table is not locked in. If you notice now the tab dropped down, the table is now locked in. The table also has an additional leaf on it, which basically you pull that section down and then the table can pivot out from there. You can take the table out completely if you wish and store it away in the garage. We've then got on your seats, you've got these parts which allow you to then swivel the seat around. So you pull that and then that enables you to swivel that seat around. This point up in here is a charging point for the home light, which is available as an optional extra. The habitation door has a fly screen which is built in, which pulls across from here. Just ensure that when you are operating that the door doesn't swing back, because there is potential, because of the bin that's in there, to damage the fly screen. You've got your gas stop valves in your kitchen, which are here. These are in the on position. It is regulations that you turn off at the gas bottle, not at the valves. We've got your plugs for your sink and your shower, your pigtail, and then you have additional storage inside here under the fridge. And on the 728 we also get this storage cupboard, which has got these shelves. A couple of these shelves are actually removable. Some of them are fixed, which are giving structure to the side frame. And then last but not least, you've got your storage above here with your grill pan, which is stored in there. Again, like I say, with these lights, you can remove these lights completely, and you can add additional ones in different areas if you so wish. They've got a switch on them, just a little button there, which turns your lights on and off. But they, as you can see, sits into that rail, twist them, pop on, and that works from there. So your main sort of fuses, 12-volt fuses and things such as that, are under the passenger seat and directly accessed from the front by getting in through the passenger door and dropping that down. And your leisure battery, for information, is underneath your driver's seat. Like I say, details about the carb and the instructions are all available on the separate video, which will be attached to the link. And pretty much that is everything. So I wish you all the best in your new motorhome, and on behalf of everyone at Emm-Bee Motorhomes, thank you and enjoy it. Thank you. Bye.